Hello everyone, Thomas Ronhaar here, and yeah, welcome to another video on this channel. We're here today for round 1 of WOR season 14. Um, Heading into the first race, pace looked very strong. Even though I did, let's say, an hour of practice, maybe an hour and a half, the pace still looked very good. So yeah, heading into this race, our main focus was obviously to get the win. Um, but as you see throughout the race, there were some moments that yeah, hampered our race a little bit, but you guys will see that further into the video.
It's gonna be like B15 at the end, I feel like.
As you can see, Boal I'm doing a 7.30, which I thought would be B15 at the time. Um, but I'll just yeah, at the end of the Q1, it was a very close Q1 session. So yeah, just letting Tome price his pass because he is on a flying lap at the moment in the Mercedes, as Jake Benham goes fastest with a 7.22, which is a very short lap indeed. As we warm our tires, want to start with 81, 82 degree tires ish, and also maybe one tip, as you guys may have noticed, the ERS, I turn it on, let's say halfway down the straight, so you don't run out at the end. So yeah, heading in towards turn one, braking just after the 50-meter board, down to fourth gear, using a bit of curve for the inside, and then fifth for the exit, using all of the roads. And yeah, so far first section done really well. But as you can see here, getting a bit distracted by those two cars and actually run wide a little bit.
Fucking traffic, man.
And as you can see, we were not happy about it, but yeah, we had to keep our focus and carry on with the lap as we fly through this section now, down to third gear for this section. And so far it's been an okay lap, tiny bit of mistakes, but it's not bad clapping gear one. We just need to put a time on the board, and that's what we're gonna do right here. Managing to the second part of the lap quite nicely, as Jake let us pass quite nicely, and heading to the last sector, a 50.66 split, which will be enough to possibly get professional pole here. So let's see, coming across line now, activating the DRS for the last time, and coming across the lane to do a 7.149,
Alright.
which is enough at the moment for P1, and actually, as you'll see right here, it was eventually enough to stay P1 for the rest of the session. And as I told you at the beginning, the lap from Royland was indeed enough for P15. So our prediction was actually quite accurate. So yeah, really close Q1 session. Heading in towards Q2 now, doing our bank lap on the use of the tires. But as you can see, we're actually 2.4 turns down on Nico.
His size might be a bit younger than us, though.
But then we realized Nico had a bit of a younger tire set than us because we had 12% starting the lap, so that wasn't particularly ideal. And yeah, heading into our actually on our final Q2 lap, which spoiler alert was eventually enough to get us through into Q3. Uh, Having a quite poor turn one. I've been struggling with turn one and two for quite a while now, and it was the same in F1 EVA. I just couldn't get the car to rotate. And as you can see, very much tighter than last time in Q1. Our road was a 7.06, which is quite nice for a Q2 banker. And once again flying for this section, managing to navigate this very nicely. And the most important part for Q1 and Q2, the first lap you just have to put a time on the board, because otherwise if you don't have a time on board you're going to be under a huge pressure. And especially in F1 esports, if you haven't got a bank in before your final lap, it's going to be really hard to eventually even get a lap in towards the end, because the pressure is so high. But we did it quite nicely this lap, and as we can see, 6 turns up on a 7.5, and as you can see across the line, we go
Oh,
fastest,
nice. I didn't expect that after the first sector.
and as you can see, for the second time, struggling with the first sector. But it
First
was
and second
enough
sector. Nice one.
to be, yeah, as my
Yeah,
engineer
1/10
Sebastian
gap
says,
to P2 actually. So nice.
we had a
Yeah, I think
1 10
that'll be
gap
enough.
to second place, and as you can see, the end result of Q2, we managed to eventually get second place, just behind Nicolas Longe, who is very fast around this track. So Heading towards Q3, we just have to do our best and
Fuel. I have 4.5 laps of fuel on board, man.
as you can hear me say, not off to a great start as I forgot to change the fuel.
7 kg on board.
And yeah, we have 7 kg on board, which is 2 kg more than planned. But as you can see, doing a 50.37 split, which was very nice. 1/10 up on our bank lap in Q2, so actually not a bad lap at all. And coming across the line, you'll see right here, we actually do a 6.79,
Okay.
which I was actually surprised with.
Even with 7 kg, man.
Which was only at this time a
Ridiculous.
10th of my PB in the normal build, because obviously we have 2 builds in this game nowadays. So I was pretty happy with that banker. So heading into the last lap, I know I had a good time already on the board. So this is gonna be 100% push, maximum grip available, and we're just gonna fully send it. So once again, heading towards turn 1, braking just after the 50, managing to navigate this very nicely on the limit, on the edge of the track limits, and we've just found 302 to 300 in the first sector. Heading in towards the second sector, now doing a 6-0 split, which was not too bad, could have been a bit faster, but it was fine for now. As you can see, Max led us through there. Half a step up now as we head in towards the second part of the lap. Again, once again, just on the limit with the track limits, on the edge with the grip. As we managed to find another 10th. As I think it was Alpha who let us pass quite nicely, and look at that, getting on the power so early. As we're 1.5 turns up right now, so this is looking like a PB. But as you'll see here, just wheel spin out final corner, and
Good soil on
we were so disappointed with that, and because of that we lost nearly a 10th. But as you'll see here,
Get me in the warm, man.
it was still enough to get professional pole for now, as we just have to wait for,
such
I
a
think,
good
Nicholas
lap.
to cross the line.
4-9 last. Oh.
Yeah, we were very disappointed with that lap, with the last sector. It could have been a PB, but
The first wasn't even special yet, it was in the middle.
it was enough for pole position, and yeah, I'm very happy with that lap.
The exact same mistake as in esports. I absolutely bottom out the exit.
And that is very true actually. We did the same mistake in F1 Esports, which cost us pole eventually, from Lucas Blakely. Um, so these are the final results of Q3. Getting pole position by just under a 10th, Josh Adair is second. So yeah,
Gonna Devon.
heading into this race, hard medium will be the strategy. And we're just looking to do our best job in the starts. 5 red lights, and away we go. And we actually get a very nice start. Didn't get any wheel spin, maybe a tiny bit in second phase, but we're clear into turn 1 now. And my goal right here, as you'll see in the coming few, well, 2 or 3 laps, from after this corner onwards, I thought, let's just send it, drain the battery, and try and gap Josh. And I knew at this time I had great pace. Obviously Nicholas Longay is in third place. He is very quick usually around here. But as you'll see right here, the gap was already 5 tenths. We've managed to find 2 tenths already in this lap. And because I realized that, I thought, right, let's just drain the battery, try something else, and maybe gap the field. That was the plan originally. As you can see, we're actually now 6 tenths ahead of Josh, so managed to find another 10th in his lap. And as you can see right here, we're draining the battery all the way down the straight. Gap is now 7 tenths, 7.5 tenths, 8 tenths. We're nearly outside the 1 second already, and this has been a very good start to this race so far. We're already down to 65% though, which was at the time no ideal. But I've been told by my engineer that Josh was pushing as well. And as you can see, the gap is 1.1 seconds. So I'm like, alright, let's just chill and try and save as much battery if possible. But at the same time, manage our pace so we can just about stay above the 1 second margin. And yeah, It's been a very good start, as I said. We just need to try and extend the gap as much as possible to Josh. As he just about enters the 1 second margin again. But as you'll see throughout the primary three corners, we managed to get outside the 1 second margin again. And yeah, we just need to make sure we stay ahead of Josh Ado's 1 second margin. And then it should be all good. And yeah, heading in towards lap 3 now, DRS will be enabled. And as you can see, the gap is 1.0, 1.1 seconds, so as it's actually losing time on the straight. So it goes to show that we're both pushing very, very hard there. And right about here is the DRS directly shown, and it's 1.1 seconds. So
Alright. Now I can manage.
as you can hear me say, now we can actually properly manage the race and try and stay ahead of Josh as long as we can. Which we managed to do, skipping on to lap 9 now. As you can hear my engineer say, Nicholas has entered the DRS zone. His pace was mightily quick, but I know that already before this race, so it was going to be extremely tough to keep Nicholas behind. We actually managed to extend the gap to Joyce to 2.6 seconds in a space of 9 laps, so the pace was definitely there, and it was very good, but Nicholas Longe is just on another level at this moment in this race. His pace around this track is yeah, too good to you know, be able to stay ahead of him. So as you can see me do right there, corrections on the steering wheel, we're just struggling with the grip at the moment. And as you can my engineer say no.
0%.
Nicholas is on 0%, but we're on 5%, so it's not like we have much more ERS than him, so we're both pushing each other to our maximum potential right there. And this has been the case for pretty much the whole race. Nicholas just staying in the DRS, saving his ERS, and yeah, managing his tires at the same time. It is very important around this track to
I was gonna save now.
have tires at the end and save as much for the last laps at your stints. So yeah, we're just trying to obviously stay as much ahead as possible to Nicholas, but at the same time don't try and use as much of our tires, because that will hurt us towards the end of the stint and even towards the end of the race. Because an undercar around this track is going to be very, very strong, and if you have the tires at the end, it could pay off. But in my mind right now, I wanted to go long, and as you can see, we're skipping all the way to lap 19 now. We managed to save 70% of the battery. And as you can mention is say voice break. Joyce is in the pit now, and so was I think it was Tomek.
Two laps of tires, a big thing at the end.
As you can hear me say, 2 laps of tires could be a big thing at the end.
And
So
I can use next lap as well.
we're gonna be using our ERS in the coming lap to stay ahead of the likes of Joyce, and as you can see, they're entering the second sector now, and we're almost entering the first sector. So that group in the middle of second sector now,
Okay.
that's the group we need to watch from. But as you'll see here, we're gonna pit, but something happens, and you'll see.
Wait, what?
We get a speeding, and so does Jake, because
That's not where the fucking line is.
the line in
The line is fucking normal.
the line in esports, the pit entry line is actually further away than it was in this build.
How is that a thing?
And I didn't do race practice before this, so I didn't know this, and neither did Jake, and I think some others didn't as well. But yeah, we can't do anything about it now. We just need to do our best to you know, even stay at the likes of Alvaro and Jake. But obviously Jake has his penalty, but Alvaro is only 2.5 seconds behind us, and he actually managed to pass Jake on the colder tires, so he's going to be gaining on us in this middle sector. And the only way for us to keep P2 even, because Nico doesn't have a time penalty at this moment and is most likely the favorite to win this race. So yeah, all we can do now is drive 110% and try and pull away a few times per lap to the back behind. As you can see, the train from Alvaro is about 8 cars, and all those cars are still within 5 seconds of me. So if there was the final lap, we will be down to the likes of P11, P12. There will be no points at all. So we need to drive our maximum pace right here to be able to, stay ahead of those guys. As you can see right there, Nicholas is exiting the pits now. And actually, we did quite a go lap. And as you're able to see, the gap is 1.1 seconds. Obviously, I spent in the pits, which obviously helped me a tiny bit to gap him, which was obviously not intentional. Yeah, that might give us a little bit of a breathing space to be, we can save eras now. We can try and save our tires, so we can start pushing flat out towards the end of the race. And we just need to navigate one more thing, which is Will Lewis. I think he's praying for a safety car because normally you wouldn't stay out this long. So I think his only hope was to get a safety car, skipping out to lap 23, using our ERS as we do the fast out of the race, going round the outside of Will Lewis. We actually made contact. Nothing crazy happened though. Will Lewis actually apologized to me after the race. Saying I accidentally hit you, so
ERS, Nico.
no hard feelings there. Willow is obviously a great driver, so yeah, nothing to worry about for now. We just need to do our best to stay ahead of the likes of Nicholas and Alvaro, and as we actually, I think to Nicholas we managed to pull away 7 tenths so far, but obviously he has one of fresher tires, and you can hear me say we need a safety car, which it could be beneficial, but it could also end our race because the others might pit and they will jump us. So it was really a 50-50 situation. If the safety car could help, if it's not worth it. But I think so far, if the 5 second gets added now and it was the final lap, we will be around P5, P6. Because there were some other guys, I think it was Jake, Josh, I'm not sure about some others, but quite a few people had time penalties, so yeah, we just need to do once again our best to stay ahead of those guys and, try and gap, which we actually managed to do. But as you can see here, we nearly lost a car, and that cost us near half a second. As you can see the gap from Jake, it was 5.3. It goes down to 5.0, 4.9, so we lost about 4 tenths. But the gap to Alvaro is 5.3 seconds, so as we... If we cross the line now, we would be second place. Obviously Nicholas Longa is most likely to win this race, it is quite obvious. He doesn't have a time penalty to win the DRS, unless he makes a huge mistake and ends up like, I don't know, in the wall. We're gonna get the win, but it's very unlikely. I think Nicholas has done a brilliant job this race, and is looking to win the opening race of the season. But our focus is to beat Alvaro, and it's 5.1, but as you can see, with 0% ERS, we're absolutely draining a battery right now, and we just need to absolutely send it in his final 2 sectors. And obviously at this point we also had 2 warnings, so we couldn't get another warning in, otherwise it would be game over pretty much. So we just needed to hope and pray that Alvaro doesn't have any errors or gets the run towards the line. I was pretty happy about this final lap. As you can see, we're all on the edge of a grip. The tires are absolutely done at this point. I think the tires were like 70%. The gap is 5.5 for a brief moment there. But Alvaro has some errors, and you can already guess across the line 5.3, 5.2. I thought it was enough, but then across the line, Alvaro gets us.
Oh no way, shit.
So it's gonna be P3 for us today, unfortunately. Still a podium, so I'm pretty happy about it. The pace was definitely there for the win. Um, but just made one stupid mistake in the pits, which was obviously my fault. So these are the end results. Nicholas Longe wins the race. Alvaro Carlos on second. I'm third. Josh Sido is fourth. Jake fifth. Philip sixth. Luke seventh. Liam is eighth. Ninth is Dermot. And Ruben's 10th. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe as always, and stay tuned for more.